guys, this is Katja with Creators Image Studio. You may remember that not too long ago I created a deconstructed envelope card, and I will insert it here. And I did that with the Caseograph collection called Cottage Rose, and I only bought 3 sheets of design paper plus a cardboard sheet. So 4 sheets in total, and I had of course some papers left over, and I always like to use them up as much as I can, because I always find it a pity if I have to throw those beautiful papers just out because what? My project is done? No, we come up with different projects to finish the papers. So in this case, after finishing the deconstructed envelope card, I managed to squeeze out another 3 cards, 3 different ones, and those I'm going to share with you today, just hopefully to inspire you and show you that with an ever dwindling stack of papers, you can still manage to squeeze out yet another project or card. So I hope you find that inspiring. Okay, so blah blah blah, let's move on and go to the cards. Alright, so this is the first one that I did with the leftover pieces of design paper. You see the sentiments here, so that is of course from the sentiment sheet that I bought. I simply matted the front and the back, did a magnetized closure here, so the magnet is here, and then added some flowers and a piece of die cutting here, so these are some leaves. And then on the inside of the card I cut up the sentiment strip that comes with the most Caseograph papers. They have these strips at the bottom of a 12 by 12 inch sheet, so I cut that up and just stuck it on the inside of the card. Same here, so this is again part of the sentiment strip that came with one of the papers that I had left over, and then simply cut myself a journaling spot to write whatever I want to write. So this is, well, it is easier and simpler than the deconstructed envelope card, but still it has its own technique. It has a magnetized closure, and I had enough of the papers left over. Now, of course, when I had finished this one, I had still less paper left over, but I did have some, so I created this. So this is part of the sentiment sheet that came with the collection, so I simply cut that from the paper and stuck it onto a piece of cardstock. And I used some of the smaller pieces to die cut myself a 3-dimensional flower piece here, and then added some die cuts here by way of leaves, added a piece of bling, and that's it. So I didn't do anything else on the front because it is its own nice little decorative piece. So that is a way to use up your papers, because if they have their own sentiments and their own decorative elements, and you don't have to add very much, and you can use the rest of your leftovers to do up the inside. Now I left this blank, so as opposed to the other one that I just showed you, I did the other half as well, but you can leave the left side blank of course, and write your message here. I did some paper piecing here, so I called this a scrap mat, so a mat that I create from scraps. So that is also a way to increase your paper real estate and be able to do a card with very little pieces of paper. And then I had a slightly larger piece to do the back. Now my design paper was dwindling fast, but I still did have some pieces left over, so I managed to squeeze out one more card, and that is this one. So I kept a beautiful piece of the pattern specifically to this end. I knew I would make one more card, so I thought to myself, let's keep the very prettiest part of the paper so that people don't need the inside and the back to be done. So I wanted a very beautiful piece because the front would be it. And again with the flowers here, so you can use all kinds of small scraps to do these kinds of die cuts, and there's some leaves here again. I also had one of the sentiment pieces left over, and I simulated a little frame here hanging from the wall. It's very simply done. Just do a little brad that looks like a nail, and then I use some liquid pearl here to simulate a cord. So yeah, so these are some tips to use up your design paper leftovers that you have left over from a larger project. And look, if you count the deconstructed envelope card that I showed you before, I created 4 different unique cards from only 3 sheets of 12 by 12 inch design paper, including a sentiment sheet, that is. Alright, and those were the cards and the tips that came along with them. So how to use up your design paper that you may have left over from another project. And well, if you like to, press the like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.